Tonight, it's the big Season 2 celebration as the guys look back on the 86-87 season of MacGyver as well as their last 33 episodes. You'll laugh, you'll cry, but will you guffaw? Find out next on Making Fun of MacGyver. It's Making Fun of MacGyver, a rib-tickling takedown of our favorite 80s adventure show, Charles in Charge. Oh, it's MacGyver. Starring Sam Jordan as the skeptic, Mike Garland as the diehard, and Jeff Hess as the scientist.
Name's MacGyver.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Making Fun MacGyver. The party's right here. So glad you've joined us. It's the show where we recap, review, and lovingly ridicule every episode of the original series MacGyver. But tonight, we conclude our Season 2 by putting the extra in extravaganza. And even though it's not a word, we're also going to put the ganza into extravaganza too. We're doing a lot here. It's going to be a great show, and we are so glad you are joining us. We're live streaming as we tape this right now on Facebook and YouTube, so if anyone chimes in, we'll actually say it here. I know it's kind of like the past tense, future, present, whatever, but we're excited to have anyone chime in, so that's why that's going to happen. But I am Sam Jordan, your host, and as usual, I am joined by my two fellow MacGyverites, the diehard, Mike Garland.
Yippee-ki-yay, MFer.
And the scientist, Jeffrey Hess.
Oh, it's a good thing I brought my beaker and my extra set of pocket protectors. Because this is the 80s.
Oh, yeah. My visually valuable VIPs, I bring to you a question for this very special episode. Are you ready to do more reflecting than a reflecting pool?
I got hit in the head with a shovel today. I need a reminder.
I am more reflective than Narcissus.
Okay. I'll take those as affirmatives from both of you guys. But first, we're moments away from Making Fun of MacGyver. It's our 62nd episode. It's the big Season 2 celebration, but first, it's our opening gambit. Well, let's start this show off with a bang. You got Mike getting hit in the head, but let's start it off with a giveaway. You guys know those meal kit services, right? Blue Apron, Hello Chef, right? So I did Blue Apron for about 4 or 5 years, loved it. I fell out of love for various reasons. I'm doing another one now. I'm a little embarrassed to say what it is, but it's Martha Stewart's Marley Spoon is the name of the service. But it's good. It's good. I like it. So you know what? Occasionally you get free boxes to send to people, though. So let's do that right here. We're a low-budget podcast. This is all we can do. So tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to give away a box of free food. Now all you got to do is comment in the show posting. When this episode goes up, the Season 2 celebration, we'll have a post up on Twitter or Facebook. Just comment there on the one that comes with this episode, and I will pick a winner out of those likely, 3 or 4 people.
Now, just to be clear here, you're not sitting on a box of food. It is a coupon for a box of food.
Correct.
Okay. You're not going to send them, 3-week-old meat.
Well, if they specify they would prefer that. I don't think anyone will prefer that, but I could do that. But I'm just
and if you need to, you could send them pictures of your meat in advance so they could make sure that they know what they're getting.
I am going to get your email address, and then I will. You will get a small box of meal kit stuff. You have to cook it, and you will probably need to give the company your credit card. But then after you get the food, just cancel that, and this will be a free box of food. It's free food from your friends at Making Fun of MacGyver.
Are there any limitations? I know we have an international audience. Is this limited only to our U.S. and Canada listeners?
Thank you for getting that. I'm going to say yes, within the United States, probably. We're not.
Sorry, Vivian. Sorry, Christian.
So we're giving away food. We're also giving away a little money. Want to do something else big for our Season 2 celebration. So for all this time we spend talking about a show where the main character refuses to use guns, as silly as it is sometimes, I think we all kind of appreciate that, the spirit of that. It only feels right to make a small contribution to that cause. So we have made a small donation to Sandy Hook Promise, whose mission is to educate and empower youth and adults to prevent violence in schools, homes, and communities. A little more here Through their proven, evidence-informed, know the signs programs and sensible bipartisan school and gun safety legislation, they teach young people and adults to recognize, intervene, and get help for individuals who may be socially isolated and or at risk of hurting themselves or others. So we've watched 44 episodes of MacGyver now, guys. This is our 60-second episode. We've watched 44. So in the name of the show, we've donated $44, $1 per show, to Sandy Hook Promise. And I think we'll make this an annual thing.
Sounds like a great cause. Certainly support something like that in the future, going forward.
I agree.
Some housekeeping things to clean up here in the opening gambit section. A couple of episodes ago, our show announcer, Vern Sanderson, made perhaps his biggest mistake ever. So you know how he says the name of an 80s show in the intro, and then he corrects it and says MacGyver? Well, he said the same show in back-to-back episodes. Previously, it's always something different, right? It's always something from the 80s. Give Me a Break, Love Boat, whatever. Well, in episodes 59 and 60, at the beginning, he says our favorite 80s action adventure show, Alice. He said that for 59, and then he said Alice again for 60. So Vern, I don't know if that was a mistake or Vern really loves Alice. Of course,
Linda Lavin had it going on.
Well, that's true. And of course, you had Henry from Alice, played by Marvin Kaplan, and he was the chessboard-wielding mental patient in A Prisoner of Conscience. So maybe he appreciates Alice. Well, guys, so you remember the chessboard over the head, right? The guy.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember the name? What do you think the name of that character was in that episode of season 1 MacGyver?
Dimitri.
Chessboard guy.
No, Dimitri's the Russian guy.
I figured they're just all named Dimitri.
No, you're close, Mike. The name was the chess master. Just
Oh
the
my
chess
God.
master.
Well, it's better than being the Bushmaster,
I
I
just had
guess.
to write something down. I was willing to overlook Vern's nasty attitude during season 2 because of his high-quality performance.
Yeah.
If he's going to start slipping like an aging ball player, we're going to need to talk about his future with the team.
Oh my God. The coffee and the cigarettes that
Oh my
guy
God.
ingests.
Yeah, all that stuff about shaved cubes. I mean, he was a little out of control this year.
Well, I think we may have him as a celebrity guest judge in a segment coming up, so you might want to not trash talk too much. But
I love Vern. He's
All right.
definitely one of my most favorite voiceover guys.
Embrace
he's a
debate.
salt of the earth guy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's just like, he's, old school. So there was another goof made by Mike on our last episode, which was the Fast Times episode, which feels like a year ago. But it was a great 90 minutes, by the way, one of our longest ever. So when referring to the son of the late, great Eddie Van Halen, Mike, you said Ludwig, but it's actually Wolfgang Van Halen. And Mike feels so bad about this mess up that he has a major announcement to make.
I mean, I'm a little embarrassed by it, and I quit. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't, I've got a high standard of professionalism, and screwing shit up like that is not that. No, in all seriousness, I am walking away from the show, and it's not necessarily because I screwed up the Van Halen kid's name, although that seems to be the cherry on the top of my steaming
it's the
pile.
final straw.
We've done 60 plus episodes of recapping and reviewing and ridiculing the show, but it is kind of time for me to cut the mullet, put away the Swiss Army knife, and walk away, at least for now. Guys, with you and with our listeners, I've been pretty open about a lot of things in my life. Probably a little too open sometimes, but I've got 2 young kids, and I got a bunch of jobs that keep me busy and keep my accountant a little crazy. But I can't keep up with everything. I've always done a good job to try to keep my work and personal life balanced accordingly, but the kids are getting older, they're involved in more extracurriculars, and I found it challenging to really maintain a level of production that I can be proud of, and more so one that's fair to you guys and to those who depend on me personally and professionally outside of the podcast. So, sure, I screwed up the Mozart guys, the Van Halen. I screwed up the screw up. But no, it's time. I'm done. I'm gonna walk away. But I think you guys are gonna keep doing the podcast, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And by all accounts, it should actually get better because most of the laughs come from you guys anyway. Jeff's got the science. Sam's got the witty creative. And, I hope that all of our listeners will continue to listen. You better listen. If you were only listening for me, we probably should get you some help. But in all seriousness, thank you. Thank you, Sam and Jeff. Thank you to our Patreon patrons. During the Hangouts, it's been really cool to get to meet you, to see you face to face, to share a beer with you. around the world. And even if we've never met or you've never even chimed in on social media, we know you're there. Your support, your fandom, it means the world. And really, it means more than any words can truly convey. So I had hoped to see this through to the end, plus the 2 TV movies. But for now, I gotta take a break. I gotta focus on the kids and the jobs and the things that I never thought we'd get to this. I didn't, but
yeah. Remember first episode we all took bets, and how long will this last? And Mike said, yeah, Sam's gonna quit because he'll just be tired of editing all the time. So Mike is the first to tap out, but as I've said since about episode 25 or 30, we've already exceeded what we probably thought we would do, and it's been a success, and you've been a key part of that. Rock solid, Master MacGyver, storyteller, all that. It'll be tough to fill your shoes.
Well, there are 5 full more seasons, and you are welcome to become a patron, and you'll have the honor of guest hosting 1 episode from each season. That's $15 a month.
All right. And with that, let's keep rolling.
That is the perfect way for me to just leave now.
No, because old Yeller, as great a dog as he was, had to be put down. Mike has to, in the sake of the show, has to be put down. But you know who else has to be put down? The Grand Comedy Experiment, the ever-increasing viewer mail theme. For all of Season 2, we've pushed the limits of acceptable broadcast standards by adding 1 extra flute sting per episode. But tonight, this glorious tradition will come to a close. So here now, for the last time, the way too long, ultra repetitive viewer mail theme, and let's just blow this sucker up. Halfway home.
I'll just be honest. I'll be honest here. Still too short.
Oh, I was wondering if you could say we just right or it's a little too long. It's still too short.
I spent the whole time thinking, what's the better joke? Is it saying that we got it right at the time we kill it, or is it that it's still too short?
Yeah. I think that was the best joke. Mike, that's the last time you'll have to hear that. Probably. You'll probably still hear it in your nightmares or something. But so last time, on our last episode, the viewer mail is so long, it makes you forget things. So I got a mess up, too. I know I'm not going to quit over it. But on our last episode, The Fast Times, we played the whole 55-second viewer mail theme. We were talking about the theme, and then I just went on to the next thing. I never read any viewer mail on the last episode, and no eagle-eared listeners caught that or whatever. So quickly, it was some social media reaction to that Fan Appreciation Day episode and the Hall of Fame inductees. King Jovis on Twitter, Nick Jr. 55. King Jovis followed us a while ago. He never commented or did anything, but somehow inducting Gary from Kelowna, BC, into the Making MacGyver Hall of Fame prompted King Jovis to say, "A most worthy inductee. I will now make it my life's purpose to join such an esteemed Hall of Fame." King Jovis, thank you for chiming in. Please, anytime. Also, Lil Lemon Twist said, "Go, Gary. Congrats to all the fans, and thanks to the Making Fun of MacGyver trio, duo, for making me laugh over the past couple of years." So we've also got some new Facebook followers, and Jeff, with your newfound powers of Making Fun of MacGyver administrator on the page.
I got promoted.
Tell me, we've got a bunch of people who just followed us on Facebook, but are they all legit, or what do you think?
Well, we know some are legit. Vivian Chen from Taiwan, who is one of our patrons,
course,
and we've spoken to her. She's for real. I think we have Rancho Indalo, which sounds like a fake name, but is actually the home of Anthony DeLongis.
Yes.
So they have followed us as well. We have Claire Fisher, who's one of our great patrons. She's followed us as well. But there are some question marks. We got Dries Esterhuizen, Gufran Ali. That might be a real person. That one seems real. Sarah Sow Cedric, Dira Moon Byrne, Latendo Hope, Espora de Eden, Oot Peters. I like an Oot Peters.
Okay.
Adam Behrens, Sophia Nick. That sounds like a real person. I think
Well-
I'm going to go with Henry Hapala or Hapala. That's
Yeah,
everybody.
he's real. He's real.
Jeff, have
He's
you
real.
looked?
I'm gonna go-
Do we have any followers by the last name of Stubbins or Marlowe?
Oh, see? Get it in already, huh? It's not even the end of the first Axminster.
All right.
No
well,
Stubbins or Marlowe to answer that.
Damn
They
it.
must be
Thank-
under fake names.
Thank you to all. And if you're in another country, we've learned to not underestimate the reach of this show. But still, we just got a bunch of names that are not from America, and it just blows us away. So we're not
Right.
making fun of these names at all. We are so happy and thankful to have international listeners, and we hope we can bring you some entertainment.
We reach
And just
around.
remember, if anybody asks,
the world.
it's not a
We reach
cult.
around.
It is not a cult. Remember, all the new followers, not a cult.
We reach around the whole globe.
Oh,
Hey, if you like our brand of Mac-centric shenanigans, and we hope you do, engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Give us a call on the hotline, 904-419-3310. Just leave a message. We'll play it back on the show. MakingFunOfMacGyver@gmail.com is the email address. And if you'd like to create a voice liner for the show, monthly bonus episodes, video chat, hangout sessions, and your own seat as a co-host for an episode with us, go to patreon.com/MakingFunOfMacGyver for all the details. All right, it's a huge show tonight. Lots to come, including a look back at MacGyver Season 2, how we feel about each episode, and we get to re-rank one episode. We'll crunch the numbers on all the MacGyverisms and how many times they said MacGyver, and we'll look back at some of the finest moments and wackiest characters from Season 2. But first, coming up next, we're going to settle the outcome of the season-long sing-off between Mike and Jeff, and that happens right after this.
There once was a man named MacGyver, a Quail and Axminster survivor. With the hot mullet he wore, every chick he would score, was the 80s hottest MacGyver.
New this fall on ABC.
Dr. Marlowe. Our director, Dr. Burke, was delayed, so on behalf of Dr. Steuben.
What happens when a computer glitch sets up two aging male scientists on a blind date?
We have a serious matter to settle face to face.
And the only way they can escape the awkwardness is by tandem hang gliding to rescue a nest full of baby golden eagles?
Pure suicide, but far be it from me to stop you, Carl.
It's the heart-pounding new action series critics are calling tolerable if you're into masochism. From the producers of Soul Train, it's Stubbins and Marlowe. Mondays after MacGyver on ABC. Live from St. Augustine, Florida, it's the 1987 competition of Par Search. Tonight, it's the male vocalist competition with the 1986 champion Mike Garland facing challenger Jeffrey Hess in a season-long sing-off competition. Can either of these two tone-deaf dudes sing the #1 songs of late 1986 to early 1987 with passing adequacy? We'll find out in a moment. And now, the host of Par Search, the almost average, Sam Jordan.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us on Par Search as we decide a winner tonight in Making Fun of MacGyver Season 2 sing-off between Mike Garland and Jeffrey Hess. These two have been trading off-key renditions of the #1 songs of 1986 and 1987 all year long. And now it's time to decide a winner. We have 3 judges weighing in on the battle tonight. I am judge number 1. Judge number 2, show announcer Vern Sanderson.
Oh, fuck off.
And judge number 3 is an internet poll that we've conducted over the past several days. So the winner will get absolutely nothing, except perhaps a tiny sliver of self-pride and dignity, knowing he triumphed over a foe of equal ineptitude. The loser, however, gets an embarrassing photo posted of him on the Making Fun of MacGyver social media account. Jeff and Mike.
We both
You've been-
still have admin privileges unless mine's been revoked. So you
true.
go ahead and
Well,
post that picture
Oh,
there.
you're not going to have it
Chucklenuts.
much longer.
You remember wearing a really tight T-shirt in the newsroom about 12 years ago, Mike? Does that ring a bell? And Jeff, I've got some of you doing the
I only
stanky
take
leg.
embarrassing pictures. Probably in khaki pants.
All right, but how do you guys? We're gonna hear back now all of your songs, a supercut. But Jeff, how do you feel you did? Do you think you sang better than Mike this season?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Any proof for that? I mean, why?
I sang in choirs. I was in musicals. I did show choir. Like,
Boy.
I have a lot of training. I'm not great, but I'm in the ballpark. And
Okay.
I feel confident in my experience. You know, I got a lot of singing training in my past.
Mike, wouldn't this be great to have this be one of your final things you do on the show? Just go out in a blaze of glory, beating Jeff in this sing-off. I mean, you're the DJ, so he may be in a choir, but you're around music more these days, I think?
I'm around sports more these days. That doesn't make me athletic.
Okay.
No, losing would be the extra cherry on top of the steaming pile that has been my making fun of MacGyver tenure. I feel like I will also lose this, just like I've lost my sanity over the last couple of months.
Okay. Well, here we go. Here's Mike versus Jeff, the compilation of their sing-offs throughout Making Fun of MacGyver Season 2.
And the same address. Yes, it's true. I am happy to be stuck with you.
And the same address. This is true. I am happy to be stuck with you.
'Cause when I think of you, baby, nothing else seems to
This
matter.
one's good. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you.
But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you.
I'm gonna say it like a man and make you understand, Amanda. This is songs I don't know. I love you.
I'm gonna say it like a man and make you understand.
Oh, but see, he
Amanda.
knows it.
I love you.
I'm only human, of flesh and blood I'm made.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame, darling. You give love a bad name.
Foreign types with their hookah pipes say, "Ayo, ayo, ayo, ayo." Walk like an Egyptian.
I'm glad you picked up on my telepathy now, baby. Girl, I wanna shake you down.
What did you think I would do at this moment?
Open your heart to me, baby. I hold the lock and you hold the key.
Oh, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer.
Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry the widest rendition ever. on.
And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Oh, I just died in your arms tonight.
I just died in your arms tonight.
If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, sugar, let me know.
If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, sugar, let me know.
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. Oh no, this is the bad part. Watching us all with the eye of the tiger. Woo!
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight,
way out there.
rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
All right. There it is.
I'll admit to being less confident than I was before I heard that.
So I will go first. I had the prime the best seat to watch all this. And trust me, no one should not hang their head in shame out of you two. Okay? Both of you need to be embarrassed. Both of you did a piss poor job of singing the number one hits. However, by the slightest of margins, I've got Mike as winning this.
2 years in a row, baby.
Not yet. There's two more judges.
Two more
the
judges.
Internet, there's the internet poll and there's Vern.
Well, no one voted online except for me and that other guy. He voted for you.
I didn't even know there was a poll.
Because you didn't know the songs a lot, right? I think that was your disadvantage. Sometimes you're coming in a little late, whatever. So that was so the internet poll. Claire said Jeff. New listener Esther Lovett, a brand new Facebook fan. Esther Lovett says Jeff. Mike voted for himself. And that's all the people that voted. 2-1, Jeff wins.
Yes, the people have spoken.
So that leaves it up to Vern Sanderson.
Fuck the Electoral College. Fuck this Electoral College.
Vern Sanderson to make the call.
Come on,
and
Vern.
Okay, you know what? If I gotta choose someone, you know what? Since Mike is leaving the podcast, and I'm fucking static about that, sure, you know what? I'll give him my vote. Thank you, Mike. You get my vote as a thank you for leaving the goddamn show. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, gee, Vern, thank you. By the way, Vern, now that I'm leaving, I hate you.
I can concede graciously, the virtue of it is that the reward for me coming in second is that you all get to hear me sing every week next season.
All right, we'll be right back with an episode-by-episode look at Season 2 of MacGyver right after this.
This show should have been called Making Fun of Mike Garland.
Why are you taking your pants off?
You got a better idea?
I'm still trying to figure out what yours is.
Come here, grab this.
Oh.
Yeah, I want a 12-inch pizza. Run it through the garden, hold the chovy.
I mean, I hate to toot my own horn, guys, but I know some great stings. I'd love to help you nail this guy. We could use the Philadelphia Flash or the Toledo Twist.
Keep baking those brownies, MacGyver. See how far it gets you.
So, what's on your mind?
Really want to know? Wood.
All right, can it! You two want to fight, you put on gloves, but it doesn't happen here.
What a tough guy. What are you gonna do next, spank us? No, actually, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Gina?
Why don't you shut up, you idiots?
Time out!
Jeep registration. MacGyver. We're not asking for any trouble. Listen, why don't you let me talk to him? I mean, you're not going to do anything stupid, are you? Like killing that bank guard for no reason?
Curry, when you've already killed one man, killing another one don't really matter. Especially when it means staying out of the chair.
Couldn't run the risk that you'd find the device and disarm it.
Oh, yeah, you think I could do that?
Don't be modest. Everybody knows MacGyver's MacGyver.
So many good songs from the 80s we never got to sing because we only focused on the number one hits during the week a Mac episode aired. But there's Back in the High Life again by the great Steve Winwood with backing vocals by James Taylor. It was released in January of 87, reached the size number 14 on the Billboard Top 100. But here we go, guys. Episode by episode recap of Season 2. And we all get one episode to re-rank. We can do a one-over. We can do a do-over on a 0 to 10 mullet scale if we choose. So last year, let's see. You remember what you re-ranked, Jeff, last year?
I don't remember what I re-ranked.
I think I see it here. You re-ranked Hellfire. You bumped it up to
That's
a
the
7.
one where they're the swinger couple putting the
Oils.
Oh.
Yeah. And Mike re-ranked Thief of Budapest, dropping it, I think, to a 4. He might have had it
that's
higher
a crime.
than that.
That's a good one. It's got that great car chase in it.
From that other movie.
Hey,
Rock
don't
and
ruin it.
roll.
You have to go back and listen to the episode.
All right, so this season started off with the human factor. The military asking MacGyver to check out new high-tech security system at one of their bases. Complications arose when the computer trapped MacGyver inside and attempted to kill him. The Daleks, Mike called it an R2-D2, but you informed us it was Dalek looking from Doctor Who, right? And that one's, it's fine. But we rated that, as a group, we gave that a 6. Jeff, you gave that an 8. Mike a 7, and me a 3, and we averaged out to a 6. After that was The Eraser. You guys remember The Eraser? MacGyver tricked into believing that he is helping a man find his son, but in reality, MacGyver is unknowingly leading a hitman to his target. Jimmy the Eraser.
That's the one where he's like,
right? And
he's like hanging around the car lot and like finding clues and stuff.
And then the Little League field at the end. Jimmy wants to be a baseball player.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, he went off.
Yeah,
to be
Jimmy,
like a
he
man
gave us a call.
And
too.
he comes back, I think, in season 3.
Oh, okay. So we all gave that a 6 as well. Next up, Twice Stung. We averaged out a 5 on that. Of course, that's a friend of MacGyver's becoming suicidal after being swindled out of his life savings. MacGyver orchestrates a reverse scam to get the money back. James Crow, brother of Robert Romanus, Richard Romanus there,
Yeah,
of course.
And featuring the most important close newspaper reading in history clip.
Yes.
Great moments in close reading.
After that, it was not the Golden Child, but the Wish Child. MacGyver rescues a friend's young brother in Chinatown who is mixed up with some scam artists, presenting him as the Wish Child, a legendary mystical Chinese boy. And that was a divisive one. You two, both of you guys hated the Wish Child. Jeff, you gave it a 2. Mike gave it a 1. And I gave it a 5. So it averaged out to a 3. It's one of our lowest rated episodes ever.
Yeah, boring and offensive. Bad combination.
Final Approach was next from that. And Final Approach, MacGyver and 4 youths are stranded in the wilderness after their plane crashes. Gang rivalries among the youth escalate an already precarious situation. Boy, that was just full of great cheese. Love that one. You going to keep baking those brownies, MacGyver? So I gave Final Approach a 6, Mike a 7, Jeff a 5. It averaged out to a 6.
Also, a source of one of the letters for Making Love with MacGyver. One of those girls wrote in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next up was Jack of Lies. We Jeff gave it an 8, Mike a 7, I gave it a 7, so it averaged out to a 7. But Jack of Lies, Jack Dalton asked for MacGyver's help in rescuing a botanist in Central America, and once there, MacGyver finds out that the botanist is an old friend. The Road Not Taken was next. A nun and a lot of nuns in this period of season 2. A nun and some orphans are in need of rescuing by MacGyver from murderous soldiers in Southeast Asia. Also, a lot of murderous soldiers in Southeast Asia. Turns out the nun's assistant is an old girlfriend of MacGyver's. That's the unwanted cheek touching, I think, right? Is that what that one?
And source of another Making Love with MacGyver letter.
Yep, and we averaged out a 6 on that. What a 1-2 punch Final Approach could have been if it was followed up by Eagles. The next episode, this was episode 8. Eagles averaged out to a 3. I give it a 3. Mike a 4. Jeff a 3. What are your thoughts on Eagles, guys?
It's still on my list as your Trumbo's World. It's so bad. It almost crosses all the way back around.
I may re-rank it.
Oh, okay. Danny Cooksey from Different Strokes. And 2 rare golden eagles facing extinction are helped by MacGyver. He must simultaneously confront the poacher trying to kill the eagles and eliminate MacGyver. What? Okay, I don't know what the hell that is. Silent World was next. A teacher of the deaf who is friend of MacGyver's is plagued by nightmares. MacGyver thinks these unexplained nightmares are connected to a plan to hijack a missile guidance system. So this had almost some supernatural stuff there. Silent World, we all gave a 6 total. Mike gave it a 7, Jeff 4, me 6. Next up was 3 for the Road, and this is when our great friend Mia from Australia joined us. MacGyver becomes stranded and is forced to hitch a ride with a retired couple. Unknowingly, they are in possession of stolen counterfeit money that the mob is trying to recover. We love Mia, and Mia loves this episode, but we didn't go nuts for it. Jeff gave it a 7, Mike a 6, Mia 5. It averaged out to a 6.
Mia's right. It's one of the best episodes of the season.
Oh, you think it's one of the best episodes of the season? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, 3 for the Road. I think Mia maybe is overrating it a little bit.
I don't know. I actually enjoyed that episode, so I'm okay with it. I'm okay with what she did.
The halfway point of the season was Phoenix Under Siege. Now, Jeff only gave it a 4, Mike a 7, me a 7. It averaged out to a 6. Phoenix Under Siege, of course, MacGyver and his grandfather have plans to go to a hockey game. However, when they stop by the Phoenix Foundation to get the tickets, they discover terrorists attempting to blow up a bomb. So it's got a great MacGyver lore, right? With the flashback to Harry getting the notification about the deaths in the family there. But Jeff, it was just a silly 40-year-old woman choking people out, or what didn't you like about that episode?
Well, if Mike's allowed to tease things, I'm allowed to tease things. I think we'll need to circle back and talk about Phoenix Under Siege once we get through the season.
It definitely had some funny parts with that woman being a ruthless killer, but and then and Harry's an instant 2 points for me. If you put Harry in the episode, it's got 2 points to start off.
Hey bud.
Season 2, episode 12, Family Matter. We gave it a 6 as an average, all right around 5 or 6. Former agent seeking revenge kidnaps Pete Thornton's wife and son. MacGyver and Pete are tasked with the mission of rescuing them. Right, Pete's son there, who we had never heard about, and all of a sudden,
wife and son.
Wife and son, right.
Whole family.
Next up was Soft Touch. A Russian defector is helped by MacGyver, and that's Yuri Dmitriev, to seek asylum in the U.S. Meanwhile, after Penny Parker comes to stay at MacGyver's for a few days, she accidentally uncovers an assassination plot of a foreign official.
But remember, that was also Yuri Dmitri the second time around, but was still new to MacGyver.
Right. Yep. I think we all docked a point for that, and that was just an average of. We came up with 4. We rated that a 4. That was pretty low. Birthday was the next one. Birthday was the clip show, right, Mike?
Yes, Birthday was the clip show, and if you get 2 points for anything that has Harry in it, I always add points for anything that has Jack Dalton. You had Jack and Harry in this episode.
All right, and then you found 2 other points laying around. Oh, you found 1 other point laying around because you gave it a 5. So
it's because of that guy Mike that played football for the Titans.
Oh yeah. Also a mental patient from Russia. With Yuri Dmitri. Birthday. I think we thought it was going to be a worse episode than it was. I remember Claire not loving it. Claire joined us there, I think, right? Oh no, I guess she didn't join us there. But it got into Mac's whole I want out, right? It's like the fact that he wanted to retire. I thought was somewhat of a compelling story.
This is my birthday episode.
How's that?
I'm retiring. I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh yeah. I got you.
And Claire joined us on Friends.
Right. Next up was Pirates. An archaeologist is kidnapped by pirates to help them find $60 million in sunken treasure at the bottom of the sea. MacGyver must attempt a rescue on the isolated ocean. I just remembered Mac jumping off a little bunker at the end there, and it's not Mac, it's the stuntman. I remember that. I like that part.
Solid episode.
Yeah, you like it? Pirates? Mm-hmm. We averaged out at a 7.
I recall it fondly, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Out in the Cold was your February 16th, 1987 episode, right around there with the Winter Olympics. A mob informant hides some microfilm on MacGyver, who is on a ski vacation. An avalanche that buries MacGyver prevents the mob from getting to him, but not for long. Of course, we'll all remember this for what? What do you remember this episode for?
Pete's pathetic little bird legs.
Pete constantly falling down.
And breaking his legs. He just tips over. He's like an Eggman. He's got that fragile leg syndrome.
I shaved his cubes.
And his shaved cubes.
Oh, you shaved his cubes, yes.
Yeah,
so, Jeff, you gave this an 8. Mike, you gave it an 8. I gave it a 6. So that's one of our favorite episodes of the year.
That's great for the camp. Camp levels are off the charts. He's shooting little parachutes out from under this avalanche and all, that's a great episode.
Now here's a surprising one. Dalton, Jack of Spies. While MacGyver's at the viewing of this friend, Jack Dalton, 2 CIA agents gone bad show up to make sure Jack is dead. MacGyver is surprised to find out that Jack really isn't dead and that he is wanted for murder. Does anyone recall what I gave this episode? I see Jeff looking at the... You're looking at the sheet.
Yeah, I have the sheet.
I
would not have it if I weren't looking at the sheet. Yeah,
I gave it
I'm
a 1.
trying to remember why.
I don't know. It just bored me, I think, more than anything else. I was not into it. I really don't know, but it would pain me to watch it. I don't know. I'm not going to change that one. But Mike gave it a 7. Jeff gave it a 4. So it averaged out to a 4. Season 2, episode 18, Partners. This was where Bo Rigby joined us, and this is the introduction of Murdoch. Revenge is what is in store for MacGyver. When a master of disguise hitman who MacGyver thought long dead shows up, this causes MacGyver to flash back to their first encounter. So you get Murdoch. You also get this backstory for Pete and Mac.
Which doesn't line up with the other backstory they had been feeding us throughout the run so far.
But we didn't really dock it much for that, right? Or we did a little bit, but we enjoyed it. You got Pete in a toupee, so that was kind of fun.
You get like an alternate truth.
Mike, you gave that a 9.
I liked it.
Me and Jeff gave it a 7.
Yeah.
Episode 19, Bushmaster. We averaged out of 5 on that. A pilot is on trial for being a spy in a Central American country, and MacGyver is sent to rescue him. Matters become complicated when MacGyver discovers the pilot's daughter is stowed away on the rescue mission. What I'll remember this is the lasso rat. Lassoing a rat. You know?
Yeah, and she's like all obnoxious about how she can do it herself, and then she keeps screwing everything up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was Martin Sheen's kid.
Oh, right. Yeah. And then she had an uncredited role as an underage hooker in another movie. Poor girl. Episode 20, Friends. We averaged out of 6. What was Friends about?
And Jack lures MacGyver to the Phoenix for a surprise birthday party where many of his friends from the past. Right. That's the birthday episode.
Oh, that's the clip show. That's the clip show.
Oh, yeah. So that's the one with Claire.
Episode 21, DOA MacGyver. Head injury causing amnesia makes MacGyver forget about his recent discovery of a bomb planted at a funeral. Will MacGyver's memory return in time, especially with the killer nearby? What's significant about this episode, guys?
MacGyver pulls the gun on Pete.
Amnesia episode?
Yeah, but MacGyver was said 46 times. This is the one that holds the record. And Jeff gave it an 8, Mike a 6. I gave it a 7, so it averaged out as a 7.
Yeah, he like falls into the river and it's like climbs on this lady's boat and like he's shooting Pete.
We enjoyed that. Wild. Yeah, boat falls on the other baddie's head. Right, he throws a boat.
He gets stuck under the boat.
Yeah, I can't get out. And
find out if that's scientifically possible to get out from under that boat on that episode.
And for Love or Money, the final episode of season 2, we all gave it a 6. And MacGyver and a female agent he despises pose as a married couple to infiltrate a psychiatric hospital in Czechoslovakia to free a human rights activist. Wait, was that the one that Yuri Dmitry was in? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
And what are they fighting for? Human rights.
Oh, yes.
You gotta love the 80s. Oh, this group, if they're fighting for human rights, they're good.
Okay, so let's re-rank an episode. But before we do so, I have a question. Now, it looks like I did not choose to re-rate an episode in season 1. Am I allowed to re-rate an episode from season 1 here today?
You did or did not?
I did not last year.
It's not like there are rules to this show.
Okay. Let me go first by changing. I'm going to make headlines here, okay? I'm going to change the rating of Trumbo's World from a 2 to a 7.
Oh. What? Wait, explain yourself.
Even as I said it, I was not sure if I did want to do it because I loved that watching it. That's why I hated Dalton Jack of Spies. I did not enjoy watching it at all. I want it out. I love watching Trumbo's World. So, yes, I agree. It's bad, but...
For 2.5 years, you've argued with us and yourself. Is it so bad it's good, or is it just bad? So, it sounds like you've made your decision.
Yep. I'm giving credit for when it's so bad it's good. Because there are a lot of them that aren't even just bad, but they're just dull and you want nothing to do with it.
That is so bad, it's surprising. Well, not surprising, but it probably should not have been aired. Like, the condition of that whole thing was so shocking.
I'm going to change that.
And it nearly killed the show.
Mike, do you want to change your rating for an episode of season 2?
I do want to change a rating for an episode of season 2. I want to go to Eagles. And what did I originally give it?
You originally gave Eagles a 4.
I'm going to drop that down to a 2.
Okay.
So, Sam, are you re-ranking? Well, first of all, Mike, explain yourself. And Sam, are you re-ranking one in season 2 as well?
No, I don't think so.
I'm re-ranking it because listening to some of the clips that Sam played back, especially from that episode, it sounds pretty cheesy, all things considered. When you kill one man, what's killing another? Whatever. And the paragliding and the Where's Waldo hat and the continuity issues that it had and how overbearing Danny Cooksey's mom was. Like, no, I'm done with that. She sucks.
Okay, fair.
That
Jeff
might make that. I mean, of course, I love that episode because I think that is like next to Trumbo's World echo sound effect. I think Eagles is in the running for the worst. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
And there's tons of stolen footage. And
then you think it's over, but it's got 3 more minutes of it, and you're like,
oh
no.
My God, yeah, I know. And he sets those little baby birds on fire. Horrible.
And it led you to kill eagles in your backyard unknowingly.
Yeah, and so that clip is great. Oh, you've killed one man. It's what's killing another. Staying out of the chair. But that's also another clip where it's like, oh, it's his license, and you had that. Oh, it's MacGyver. That's from that episode too.
Yeah.
So, I like that one. But I'm definitely re-ranking Phoenix Under Siege. So, I think I was absent for that episode, and I didn't get to talk through reviewing it. And
okay.
I don't know why I told you it was a 4. Because I remember enjoying it the first time, and in the intervening months, I've talked about it constantly. I've brought this episode up. And it's just the wrong answer. It's an 8.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, I rewatched it again today. It's terrific. I love the badass lady. There's like one guy, she chokes for no reason. The other guy, she just kills him. She goes, why? And she goes, because you annoy me. And then she kickboxes herself out of a high window. It's amazing.
That part was funny.
And Harry's in it. There's lore in it because MacGyver's specifically making a non-alcoholic eggnog, so MacGyver doesn't drink confirmed. Yeah. I mean, that if we're picking favorite for the season, that's going to be in the jumble. I haven't decided yet, but that's up there. So my apologies to Phoenix Center Siege. You were wronged by me, and that's an easy correction.
Okay, so now that I'm going to leave everything in season 2. So maybe next year I'll re-rank season 2. But here,
no, do it now.
No, there's nothing I want to change. Nothing I want to change.
Pussy.
No,
pussy.
So here we go. Final season 2 ratings. 0 to 10 mullets. I come in at a 5.2 per episode. Mike goes 6.1.
Mike had a good year.
Jeff 5.6. As a show, making fun of MacGyver, we averaged a 5.7 rating for the season 2 episodes. Now, compare that to season 1, we were at 4.9 as a show. So season 2 got better.
Yeah.
Season 2 got better.
Well, we predicted that too.
Yeah.
When we were watching, I'm like, I'm looking forward to intervening seasons where they like figure this shit out and it's a little less up and down. Because even the start of season 2 is more rocky than the end of it. Like the start has got eagles in it, it's got some other bad crap in it, and then by the end, it's like now we're where the show is going to be for probably like that golden arch of like 3 more seasons, and then the bad tail off at the end.
Oh, a lot of great moments watching the show, and we had our fair share of air quote great moments on our show as well.
All right, and where would you like to order, Sam?
12-inch pizza, run it through the garden, hold the chovies.
I cannot believe I forgot about this.
What? hold on. I'm confused. What do you mean?
Just run it through the garden. I was hoping you knew what that meant.
You mean like a well done?
Poor guy.
You know, I just saw it on an episode of MacGyver. I'm not even totally sure. Just run it through the garden. Figured I was hoping you would know.
No, the joke.
I'm new, so.
That's Tony from Texas. Thank you so much, Tony. We see what your sweet spot is there in the 80s and 90s. But guys, what are you watching on other than MacGyver? What are you watching these days?
I was going to wait for
Just
Jeff,
go ahead,
but clearly
Mike.
he's just waiting for me.
I have never seen such poor chemistry in my life. What was that, 12 seconds of you two? Someone couldn't talk? That's amazing. And I'm going to leave that whole thing in there. I've never heard it. I thought clearly one of us, or all of us have frozen.
I'm fairly confident that we were all just waiting for the other person to talk the entire time.
And then finally, when you hear this sound... Okay, that means that Mike just took off his underwear, but still the most shocking thing is the size of his calves. Tell me how you've managed to work so hard and make so much progress on getting the 1985 MacGyver series this close to being revived. But
yeah, I don't think that's what we're doing.
Sam, that might be the wrong thing. You're on the wrong agenda.
Yeah, I think he's on the wrong agenda. We're...
Wait, you're not trying to save the original MacGyver?
No, I'd rather save the original Stargate with Richard Dean Anderson.
So how much would this 6 grams of gunpowder make? It would make about 6,000 newtons. However, according to a karate website that I found, the force you need to break a wooden board is 1,100 newtons. So you would definitely blow off part of that wood. If you don't blow off part of your foot, because it takes 4,000 newtons to blow off your femur. So...
Mike is Mike. It's nice to have a Mike because there's Mike and there's Mac and then there's Mac and there's Mike and then Mike and Mac and just it's very confusing, especially when you're with a Mic on the podcast. Then there's Mike on Mike on Mike. Just so much Mike.
The introduction of Mike. Mike, what do you think? Then Mike says it. Mike. 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 Mike.
Rated
Red 102.3, number one for New Country and the Legends. It's Miranda Lambert. Heart Like Mine, Midday Mike sitting in for Phil the Thrill this afternoon. We hope you're having a good Monday so far, Red Nation. Of course, we're closing in on 4th of July, and before you know it, it's going to be back to school time.
Cream me again.
No, wait a second. What is that all about? Why?
That's inappropriate.
Why are you saying that phrase?
So why was Jack so special?
Because he made MacGyver better. I know this because the producers would talk about it when they were talking about, and they tried to get me to join the show as a regular, and I wouldn't do it. But for some of the reasons I described earlier about wanting to, and I would have made a lot more money. I would have been, but it would have been all I would have been doing for those 6.5 years.
We need to yell out a code word, just one word, to each other that the other two knows exactly what it means, like Bulgaria. So, Jeff, you want to go first?
Cheesecake!
Okay, you yell out cheesecake, and that clearly means...
Go to the Cheesecake Factory and bring me a cheesecake.
Oh my gosh! There are hatchlings in here. This is amazing. Look at them. Hi. Wow, that's incredible. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave them in this box. Save somewhere nice to stay. Oh no! No! Get combusted! No! No, little birdies!
How much do these two bad guys whinge? Oh, how much further is it? Now we've got to walk. Oh, I don't want to walk. We didn't. Like, come on. It's like living with toddlers. No wonder why the head bad guy's so cranky all the time.
Little known fact, their names are Stubbins and Marlowe.
I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. Audio that I have borrowed from other podcasts. If TV shows can do it, I mean, why can't we? We'll just slide in and keep moving like nothing has happened, like MacGyver does. Because, you guys got to admit, that episode of MacGyver, Eagles, had the most stolen footage from any episode we've ever seen. I mean, a lot of stock
footage in this episode. So
a lot of stock footage.
Yeah.
Especially the beginning and the end. It's bookended with a lot of stock footage.
Mm-hmm. I had this terrifying dream. So these 5 men, all with long hair, 2 of them carrying axes, out of nowhere burst into Mike's house, the one he's sitting at right now, and they kill him during the show.
I pull it up on CBS All Access. I start the first season, and within hours, I'm thinking, sheesh, MacGyver cannot keep an old friend alive.
Jeff, this is Mike here. Have you been able to talk directly with Shavar to confirm any of this?
Yes. Unfortunately, no, I have not. I assume he is out vigorously searching for his man boobs, but we do have this clip of him from the pilot episode just 35 years ago.
All right. Wait, hold the phone. What? You better get somebody ready to measure me for my championship ring.
And we'll keep on top of this story and monitor the status of Shavar's withering chest flesh as long as he keeps making news. Back to you.
Generally speaking, I would say no, that does not, MacGruber. You cannot touch someone's heart with your penis.
My guess is that they're out of order in the MacGyver canon timeline, and this occurs before Prisoner of Conscience. So, if this were MacGyver's real life, this story happens before the events of Prisoner of Conscience.
But he didn't know him in that one either.
Well, that's a problem with my theory. But let's not talk about the problems with my theory.
Native of Chicago, Henderson sang with the Ramsey Lewis Trio, Dizzy Gillespie, Count Basie, Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Quincy Jones, and many others. His 1963 album, Bill Henderson, with the Oscar Peterson Trio, is considered a classic in the jazz vernacular. And guess what? I've got it right here.
Dream beside me in the midnight glow. The lamp is low.
He opens his packet of soy sauce and shoots it in Jack's eye and punches him.
Love it.
And then he shoots the driver in the eye and the van wrecks.
MacGyver had a sense of humor and humility. No matter how intractable or life-threatening the situation was, he was always able to keep a sense of humor and humility. And it turns out that a laughing and open mind is a lot more likely to come up with a good solution than a frightened or angry mind.
But I gotta say, one of the hallmarks of any strip club that I've ever been to, I mean, no strip club is complete without one. Next to the semi-naked women, I think it's why we all go to the strip club. The confetti cannon. Am I right, guys? I mean, I can't count how many times I've enjoyed seeing a woman get sprayed by a confetti cannon.
They jump out of the car, and the bazookas fire, and the car explodes, and everyone is safe for now.
Oh, hey guys, it doesn't say it in the credits, but those two guys in the van are Stubbins and Marlowe.
Oh, there it is.
What do you think, Mike? This is probably going to be the best version ever of Lean On Me, right?
You mean the version that Jeff sings, or the Club Nouveau version of Lean On Me?
No, Jeff singing the Club Nouveau version will beat.
Oh, I have no doubt that it will again win a Grammy for Bill Withers all of these years later.
He keeps winning Grammys for Best Written Song, not for his first song. But anyone else that sings it, damn it, that was good.
And Mac meets the Rat. Mac meets Henderson. And they get to talking.
Not to be confused with if there's a mole, because there's a mole on the inside of this organization too, but then there's also a rat.
Also, moles are sometimes called rats. You know,
Right.
like when there were informants into the
Right.
Italian mafia, they would call them
So,
rats.
Mike, please be very careful, because the listeners cannot see these clips we're playing. So please be careful in your description of the mole, who is, what's his name? What's the character's name? Lieutenant Para is the mole, and the rat is the rat.
You don't know that the rat is not also a mole.
Ooh.
The rat could be working for the Americans because he's there helping Bill Henderson.
Well, but we learned...
Wait, Bill Henderson? That's Bill Henderson.
Yeah.
So how do you think she married a mute, insane asylum patient within the year who's in Russia? How did this happen?
Well, I was actually assuming that this guy just has a cousin who looks a lot like him who
No,
didn't
it's got to be
leave.
the same guy. It's much funnier if we say it's the same guy. And
Okay,
then one other thing.
then he was faking muteness. He was infiltrating the asylum just like MacGyver was.
It is our first ever inductee to the Making Fun of MacGyver Listener Hall of Fame, Mia from Canberra, Australia.
Yay, Mia.
It's our second inductee into the Making Fun of MacGyver Listener Hall of Fame, Bo Rigby from Fort Myers, Florida.
Yay, Bo.
It's our third inductee to the Making Fun of MacGyver Listener Hall of Fame, Gary Orn from Kelowna, British Columbia.
You are confused. You know, you had a lovely lizard meat dinner, and then all of a sudden you're being tossed.
Yep, that's him. I'm not a fan, but hey, that's my life. So now I think you understand that when the shit hits the fan and you need a leading man, forget the bombs in the arms. I got an impromptu plan. I am not firing a single shot. I am not firing a single shot. Ayo, I'd love to serve my country, but I'll only do it gun free. I am not firing a single shot. Sing it.
He is not firing a single shot. He is not firing a single shot. Ayo, he loves to serve his country, but he'll only do it gun free. He is not firing a single shot.
Some of the highlights and lowlights of our season 2.
All of those clips. You know what we didn't hear? Penny Parker.
Let's crunch the numbers, season 2 style. This is where we look at all the MacGyverisms and how successful they were, and then I get my little part where I talk about all the times they said MacGyver. But we got the scientist here. Jeff, you have poured over all the MacGyverisms, all the Does It MacGyver segments from season 2. I'm very curious to hear how Mac did and all the analytics, the stats. The floor is yours.
Does it MacGyver? Sure. So do you want to hear some of the things that he did first?
Sure.
You know, prove that you cannot get burned with lasers. He burned out computers with electricity. He tried to hack a car with a phone, but that did not work. He had used an umbrella as a grappling hook. He broke a lock with gunpowder. We learned that snakes don't crawl in your sleeping bag for warmth because you're sleeping in there. He used an oxygen tank as a slingshot. Learned how to jumpstart a car with some gum, and recharge a battery with some wine. Do you remember that one?
I think so. Yeah.
He also showed us you can repair your car by putting an egg in the radiator.
Yes.
To patch holes in the
Remember
radiator.
that.
So we learned that one too. So that's just some of the things that he did,
Yeah.
you know. And he had 77 MacGyvers on the season.
77. Now we got MacGyverisms, right? 77
MacGyverisms.
attempted MacGyverisms?
Yes.
Okay.
77 attempted MacGyverisms.
And you deemed how many successful in real life?
57 were successful.
Okay.
This is a 74% hit rate.
Ooh, just about 3 out of 4 MacGyverisms would work, in your scientific opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know why you're putting this, like, emphasis on the, like, opinions. It's obviously scientific. But there's a lot in here. It's crazy.
Now, we did not keep track of this in season 1, so we can't compare it to season 1.
Did we not?
No, we didn't keep track of, he went 3 for 4, 3 for 3, whatever. We didn't do that in season 1.
I have the total numbers somewhere in a notebook I could have sworn I just threw away last weekend.
Let's just say he improved. But what do you think? I mean, did we like anecdotally, did they start to have fewer MacGyverisms this season?
It would vary wildly because there would be episodes like Friends where there would be 1 or 2 because it was a replay thing or where there just weren't circumstances in it, and there would be one like shoehorned in, and then there would be one like the Murdoch episode where there's like 7 of them. So that was kind of what stuck out to me, was the inconsistency of the number of them.
Right.
But, they do a pretty good job of setting him up for success. It's pretty easy to tell when the stuff that he tries to do isn't going to work. And this time I think they did a pretty good job without keeping the ridiculous shit down.
So 74%, just under 75, MacGyverisms.
74, yeah.
And
replace a fuse with a paperclip. That's a classic.
Oh, wait, 70. How many did he attempt? 70.
He did 77.
Okay, so does 77 divided by 22 is what?
No. It's.
No, I want to see how many attempts per episode. 22 episodes.
3.5.
So he attempts 3.5 MacGyverisms per episode.
You confused me because 20 is the number of missed, and I thought you were wanting. I'm like, that's just going to get you the same.
No,
percentage.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
3.5 per episode. I'll be curious to see if he can keep up with 3. So
he taught you how to survive an avalanche.
Oh, you got
and
more?
Also taught us that you cannot start an avalanche with a gun. Yeah. Caught a rat with a snare. Freon opened a lock, froze a lock, and opened it up. That shit works. Found out you cannot get amnesia from a bonk on the head. Who knew?
That one shattered all of our like childhood knowledge, right? Like how many times did we see that in a show that you can get a hit on the head? I still don't know. Didn't we look it up and you confirmed it?
It is such a trope that the medical website I found this on says, unlike you saw on television, this doesn't work.
So I am free whenever the next time I see you to just wail on top of your head, and your wife doesn't have to worry about you losing your memory at all.
That's what science says.
Just bonk, bonk, bonk. Yeah. He's fine. Yeah. Okay.
I get pounded into the ground like a steak, like in a cartoon.
But you'll still remember it all, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So just to refresh people on our MacGyver histories, you're much younger than me, so you saw it in your more formative years, but you might have been still a little bit too young. I passed on it in my teen years in favor of sitcoms and whatever else, and about 5 years ago on Netflix, I gave it a try and really enjoyed it, but also wanted to poke fun at it too. But so now I've seen all 7 seasons. You, however, many of these episodes are new to you, or maybe just barely touching a little nostalgia, but all these episodes are new to you, so I can tell you from the future that I don't know if it's season 3, maybe it's season 4, but at some point the episodes with the lack of MacGyverisms really starts to rack up, and you begin to almost forget that he's supposed to do this every show. So I don't think it's season 3, but if I had to guess, if I just say, okay, 3.5 or 74 for season 2, my prediction is season 3 will have like 60, but I could be wrong. I think we'll see like 15 less, 20 less if I had to guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, 77 is a lot. That's why I went, because I had a couple I wanted to look at, and then I went to look at the list, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so many. But I'll be disappointed if they slow down, not only because it's something I enjoy very much, but it is like the spirit of the show.
Right.
But I can see how it's kind of a pain in the ass, and a lot of times it is shoehorned in. And by this time you get Richard Dean Anderson. The show's popular by now, right? It's a hit.
Yeah.
And so
never a top 10 show though, I don't think. But yeah.
And I would have come in so I was born in 1983, and so I would have been about 10 on the last few seasons, and then the movies.
All right, so let's just look at how many times they said MacGyver. That's what I keep track of. You keep track of the actual science. I'm just poking holes in how many times they say the character's name. Now, in season 1, they said MacGyver 342 times in 22 episodes. Okay, 342 times, which was an average of 15.5 per episode. What is your guess Now, we've already excused Mike from the proceedings, so you and him have this. You're going to win this no matter what, okay? So he might have won the sing-off, but you're winning this no matter what.
Well, the only way I ever win this is if he doesn't play. I always lose this one.
So 342. Now, both seasons had 22 episodes, okay? There's no extra episodes. 22 episodes. 342 last year. How many this year? Keep in mind, we did have one that set the all-time record with 46.
So I'm going to think it's a little bit lower, but not a whole lot. I'm going to go with 317.
317 is your prediction?
Yep.
No. 349. 7 more than season 1. Yeah.
Oh my God. See, my sense of that is so terrible.
Now the mic is gone. I actually just disconnected the doorbell because I don't want him ringing the bell and trying to come back in.
Okay.
But I only do that because of all the trouble we've had with people ringing the bell. It's been a great show, and I think that'll... Oh, no.
Boy.
There's
Can you
the
get that fixed
doorbell
so
again.
it just doesn't work?
I will only talk about MacGyver.
Okay, that's good. Please.
Michael, I must say you do an amazing job of writing up the episode recaps for making fun of MacGyver.
Well, thank you, sweetheart.
I guess it is true what they say, the penis mightier than the sword.
No, come on, Roberta.
The pen? Pen is?
Oh, Michael, what I would not do to come work at your penis foundation.
No, that's Phoenix Foundation,
Phoenix.
Roberta Foundation.
Michael, I am telling you the Lord's honest truth right now. You could duct tape me to the wall and shoot your Lee David's load off on my pretty little face any day of the week.
I'm big on the hit and run, the sacrifice, and, I'll call for the occasional squeeze play, but we're very good at making it look like it was a suicide squeeze.
I've lined up Honolulu's hottest soup jockeys, so they'll be feeding us clucking grunts and shingles with shimmies and shakes after running them through the garden.
I think that puts a wrap on this, and back-to-back doorbell ringing episodes. Okay.
Hello, gentlemen. It was a mere flesh wound, but your concern is appreciated.
I've been shot, stabbed, and beaten with a Louisville slugger. Now what the hell would you know about that?
Well, honestly, not much. But I know a lot about these beautifully oversized orange cranberry muffins that I just baked.
Oh, shit, word?
Oh yeah, word indeed, Ramon. Now, the key to these little cuties is sprinkling the candied orange zest on top of them as soon as they come out of the oven. The heat crisps them. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Damn, Jeff, you got it like that?
I do have it like that.
Hey, listen, fellas, I'm doing everything I can over here, okay? I'm calling in. I'm doing the $20 Pokemon supporter thing. Still, I don't hear nothing from nobody about any of my favorite episodes. Like, season 6, where Mac got amnesia, and B. Arthur pretended to be his mother, even though she was really an IRA terrorist who bonked him on the head to learn the secrets of the Phoenix Foundation, I mean, come on.
Shaving Riven's Privates, Night of the Giving Head, and Edward Penis Hands. They're all coming to a theater near you this holiday.
Can I have your autograph?
Here's some bubblegum, Reese's Pieces, mini Three Musketeers. So what's your costume?
I'm a gypsy.
Yana, you're already a gypsy, dear.
I know, that's what makes the costume so conveniently cost-effective.
Hey, Budge.
Hey, look, it's Grandpa Harry.
How you been all these years, man?
Fine. You know me. Don't take much to keep me busy.
That's great. So, why you here?
I was just taking a stroll, working on my grimaces, and I saw your on-air sign lit up, so I took a chance and rang the bell.
Well, Jesus, you have to admit, I mean, Mac is pretty Christ-like. I mean, he doesn't use guns. He never curses. He's a defender of the weak and the helpless, just like you.
True. But he also laid with that woman journalist on the jungle floor in the Gauntlet. Oh. The same day he met her, too. That's definitely a no-no in my father's book.
He's fed her a lizard, though. Does that count?
Your metaphors won't get you out of your sin, my son.
All right, we begin with Season 2, Episode 1, The Human Factor, as MacGyver, looking to escape a perilous situation with a female friend, and he performs a spectacular move.
Why are you taking your pants off?
You got a better idea?
The least I can do is shave your cubes, man. I guess I'll just grab them and...
That blanket, is that still around? Now look, don't stand over me, okay? You're gonna make me nervous.
Okay. Just feel okay?
Yeah.
But then one night, I was shot in a nightclub parking lot. And for some reason, I chose to quote Shakespeare instead of letting my friend call an ambulance.
Making fun of MacGyver! Come out to play!
Oh, man, they're not stopping it. Look, an empty suburban mall. Slow zoom in on the eyes of the mannequins inside the Gap store.
Oh, God.
Each of them staring at an abandoned pizza parlor.
Oh, my God.
Behind the counter, a lifeless
No,
body
please don't.
wrapped in plastic. So, a lot of fun. I mean, we took more than a year to talk about season 2, but this coming season 3, we're going to try and keep it to a year. So a year from now, we'll be doing season 4. But the road ahead is uncertain. Bombshell just happened in this episode. Mike Garland is left. That's not a bit. He's gone. It's his choice. Jeff, what do you see in your crystal ball?
I'm of the opinion the show works better with 3. I think someone needs to tell the story, someone needs to bust the MacGyverisms, and someone needs to mediate. And so I can do either of the other 2. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I'd be open door if we want to have some kind of contest or something, or if just want to put it out there, see who's interested and see what we can get. That's where I'd be at.
Yeah, I think, we've talked about this, and I think that's the ultimate plan, to have a third person, but we're not going to rush into it. So I think at least for a bunch of episodes, it'll probably just be me and you. But then again, we've got some patrons coming in, being this third host as well. So yeah, we're going to get a third. Bum the Mike is leaving, but definitely want someone that, really wants to do it. And it is a little bit of work, but you got to have that love for the game. But we're so excited that you're still with us, listening out there. And we ended the season 1 celebration. Do you remember how we ended the season 1 celebration show? Do you remember how we did?
I don't.
The 3 of us sang the song that was the most popular song on the charts that year. That's what friends are for.
Yeah.
So the number 1 song most times when we did an episode this year was Living on a Prayer.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame.
That's the wrong song, actually.
No?
That's You Give Love a Bad Name. I'm thinking, whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Any final words?
No, I'm looking forward to season 3. I like the routine. I love being on podcast, and it's fun to me. So I hope other people will come and enjoy it.
Yeah, we really appreciate any support we get now more than ever, right? Because we're losing a key member, and so we're going to be looking to make sure you guys still want us to keep this going. And we're going to keep churning out a quality product. We love Mac, and we're getting back to Mac in just now a couple of weeks. Get back with the episode recaps, go to our bread and butter, have some fun with it, and then we'll see about a third host. We'll see who it might be, but we're not going to rush into it. But we know we've got you out there listening, so we appreciate that. Now, thanks again to Mike for his 2.5 years of service. He tapped out. He quit. We'll never let him forget it. We're still friends, though. And thank you to you, Jeff. And thank you to our Patreon patrons like Mia and Canberra in Australia, who reminds us about the importance of being an organ donor and checking in on friends and family to make sure they're doing okay. Thanks to Bo in Fort Myers, Florida, who reminds us that making people smile and laugh has a real-world impact. Claire in New Jersey asks, why can MacGyver defuse bombs with paper clips but can't keep a girlfriend alive longer than 2 episodes? Good point, Claire. Go to deadfictionalgirlfriendsreport.com for the answer to that and more. Caesar from Parts Unknown. We still have not really heard much from Caesar. We want to know more about him, but we knew he grew up watching MacGyver in Spanish with his grandmother. We love that story. Christian in Norway, big fan of Stabæk football and Aas beer, and we are quite fond of Christian in Norway. Matt Munderson from Minneapolis, Minnesota, who reminds us about the importance of mental health awareness. Treat yourself with kindness, folks, and please reach out if you think you might need help. And one of our new favorites, Vivian in Taiwan, who informs us that there are a lot of MacGyver fans in Taiwan, and she was bullied a little bit as a kid, and she leaned on MacGyver for inspiration to get her past that. Gotta love that. And thanks to Gary in Kelowna, British Columbia, making fun of MacGyver, Listener Hall of Fame member, and currently as a perk, he's in the Patreon Patron Perks group. We're always looking for new friends, people, so please reach out to us on social media. Give us a call, email us, no matter what. Please keep coming back because we're going to keep making fun of MacGyver. That's the big Season 2 celebration show. Hope you enjoyed it. So for Mike and Jeff, I'm Sam, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Oh,
Just run it through the garden. I was hoping you knew what that meant.